Welcome back. It's time now for a newspaper review, and we have the Daily Trust, New Telegraph, The Guardian, The Nation, The Punch, Nigerian Tribune, This Day newspaper. I'll be very quick about it. I'll just read a couple of the headlines, and I have with me in the house analyst in the person of Mr. Ejime Udoem, and after taking the headlines, he will give us his in-depth analysis into some of the issues. I begin with the Daily Trust. Why coups are unsettling West Africa. That's the major headline. The next headline there is airfares rise by over 300% in 2 years. Decomposed body of Quranic teacher found in Niger. Very, very sad. Imosil's Hotel. Mortuary over alleged organ harvesting. Genocide. U.S. lawmakers visit Nigeria on fact-finding mission. What you should know about non-interest mortgage in Nigeria. And lastly, from the Daily Trust, bandits killed 7 in Sokoto communities. The New Telegraph is next for review. Police, vigilance group arrest suspected bandits at Edo Hotel. We've got a couple of riders, but I won't be taking any. Labour Party reps to Tinubu, APC. Prioritize welfare. Security, not 2027 politics. Nigeria condemns coup attempt in Benin Republic. And I'll just take one more headline from the New Telegraph. And this one says, we are behind you. Zulum assures troops of Operation Hardin Kai in Damba. The next newspaper is The Guardian. The lead, relief in Cotonou as Nigerian Air Force Joint Force repelled coup plotters in Benin Republic. Concerns over fiscal governance as 2026 budget misses timeline. PDP faction Mosque Convention hosts meeting in Wike's residence. Interesting. CAC to shut illegal POS operators, orders registration by January 1. Take one more headline from the Guardian newspaper. Benue farmers lament, decry crashing food prices. Moving out to the Nation newspaper, the major headline, Ribadu in talks with US team. And you can see a photo speak there, the profile of Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim, Nigeria's ambassador nominee by Mr. President. One more headline from the Nation newspaper, 100 Niger pupils out of hostage, and this is good news. I'm so happy for the pupils and their parents. Now the Punch newspaper, the major headline, security crisis. Tinubu Macron hold talks as US fact-finders arrive. Boko Haram fight lasting longer than civil war is troubling, a statement credited to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Anambra prison inmate wins International Whistleblower Award. And one more headline from the Nigeria Tribune. PDP crisis. Wike bloc plans state congresses, national convention. Moving out to Nigerian Tribune, the major headline is still on insecurity. NSA, U.S. congressional delegation hold fact-finding talks in Abuja. I'll just take the rider. Ribadu discusses counter-terrorism cooperation, regional stability with team. France will intensify assistance to Nigeria, coming from the French President Emmanuel Macron. Nigerians living in fear take drastic action after Babalola tells Tinubu. Benin Republic government foils school attempt, arrest rebel soldiers. Federal government secures release of 100 abducted pupils in Niger. Moving out to the Vanguard newspaper. Democracy survives. Good news. Super happy for Benin Republic. How Benin Republic coup failed federal government. The riders are quite incisive. A dozen soldiers arrested. Nigerian Air Force conducts multiple precision airstrikes on fleeing coup plotters. So our Air Force, they are active, they are capable of fighting insurgency in Nigeria. We just need the political will. ECOWAS deploys troops in Benin Republic. Federal government secures release of 400 school children abducted in Niger. And the last newspaper we have here is the This Day newspaper. Presidency, how Tinubu ordered Nigeria's military to foil Benin coup. Good news, we have lots of riders. ADC to Obi, make up your mind now. And the rider article visits Jonathan at Abuja home. And the last headline I'll be taking from the Nigerian Tribune. France offers help to defeat terrorism. Ribadu meets U.S. congressmen. 100 children released in Niger State. American delegation tours Benue. Visits IDPs. Meets with governor. Orders. And that's the rider. So we can come back to the studio and have our analyst, Mr. Ejime Oduome. Let's start from This Day newspaper. I believe it captures most of the other headlines.
No.
Presidency, how Tinubu ordered militaries and Nigeria's military to foil Benin coup. So we see that.
You know that before now we used to talk about the fact that our ground troops are one of the best troops you can ever think globally. The reason being that we have the record. We have done so well until the birth of Boko Haram in Nigeria, where our military men were reduced to almost a piece of paper. When you look at our troop, if they have the right frame of mind, they have proactive commanders, and they have the tools to work with. What is Boko Haram? What is ISWAP that they cannot defeat in less than 1 week? But here we are. We have a lot of sabotage coming from left, right, center. If Mr. President is willing and ready, and his lieutenants are also willing and ready to sweep these people, sweep them off Nigeria, I don't think it will be more than a month to do so. Most of the actions playing out at the center, in the theater of war, where all of this is happening, appears to be the fact that there is this infiltration of ISWAP and Boko Haram members into our military formation. Because a house that is divided among itself can hardly stand.
When you say infiltration, not that they are military men, because
they are already recruited into the system.
What do you mean? Because the former CDS, General Lucky Rabo,
Yeah.
he said that is not true. That they
No,
don't have a better Boko Haram.
nobody will come out with that coloration. You want to enter, you say, I'm going into the military to represent Boko Haram or ISWAP. You should know that these are...
But should the military not have records of previous terrorists? A same country should. So
you are just talking as if we are not in a sane society. Let me put it that way. If we are in a sane society, what does it take? We have the ground, we have the air, we have the sea, we have all that it takes to deal with where are they in the thin air? They are operating on land here. Boko Haram. When we talk about Sambisa Forest, is Sambisa Forest wider than the entire nation? Not at all. It is in just about, it has boundaries with about 4 states and some of our neighboring countries. This is a place where you cordon off. If you are not a member of this social group, relocate from that place so that you can close in on them and deal with them. Because if they wanted to extend their tentacles, I know they wanted to, but it's not possible. They are using that place as a safe haven for them to perpetuate the rubbish that they are doing. I'm so happy that the collaboration between Nigeria and the US is about yielding result.
Also
we see
France.
that, yes, and France is also interested. Let's look at how we can fight all of this entirety. Well, let's follow it from step 1 to step 2. You know, if America had decided to say, let's strike from anywhere, this is an organized society. They want to follow the due process, because just only a tweet from President Trump has unraveled so many things about insecurity in Nigeria. Now that they are coming into Nigeria, already holding talks, you will see that most of these so-called insurgents, they will flee out of Nigeria because we've been treating the issue with a kid glove. Now that we are out and willing to fight this teething challenge, you see that Nigeria will come out stronger. And once we're able to deal with the issue of insecurity, so many things will come, because we know that Mr. President has been moving from one part of the world to the other in search of investors to come into Nigeria. And nobody will want to bring in dollars, bring in pounds, and so many other currencies into a nation where you know that insecurity is at the center stage. But now, if we're able to reduce insecurity to the barest minimum, because insecurity is part of the society, what bothers us most is the fact that it's taking a new dimension, a situation whereby almost the 36 states of the country, including Abuja, is no longer safe. For you to travel now, you either borrow money, take a flight from Asaba to Abuja, because if you want to apply to the route,
borrow money, do you think people don't?
It's expensive, and we know how the economy is. If it is so important for you to travel and you don't have such money, I think the person will have a rethink to say, instead of me being in the den of kidnappers, and my family that cannot raise ₦1 million is coerced, forced, and pushed to cough out 70 million, they rather say, let them kill him over there. So what we are saying here, in summary, is the fact that the issue of insecurity, it deserves the contribution of you and I. Whatever we can do in consonance with what our security men are doing, and the willpower from our political leaders, it will help. It will go a long way in restoring Nigeria to a sane society where insecurity will not only be on ground zero, it will be a thing of the past, so that Nigerians will no longer live in fear.
Okay, so let's just talk about what played out yesterday, the attempted coup in Benin Republic.
Yeah.
Now, aren't you disturbed seeing like in the last 5 years, we've had about 12 attempted or successful coups in Africa. So it's not troubling. Look at the countries that border us. Niger, now Benin Republic was.
And the time was when we had a rumor that it was already infiltrating into Nigeria.
The October 1 and all of that. And
yes, the issue of when you hear about coup d'etat, it boils down to the fact that maybe the government of the day in the said country may not have done what the people wanted. Because before you see people clamoring for coup, let the men in khaki come and take over. You as a leader, you as a president, you as somebody who is #1 citizen in the country, look inward and see those things that you are doing that people are not pleased with. We're in Nigeria here today. I know that so many persons are not pleased with the state of things. And some persons are, very few, let me put it that way, are saying, is it not better for the men in khaki to come and take over? But you and I, with our level of civilization, wouldn't want that to happen. What we keep suggesting is the fact that our president should look inward and see what he could do to better the lot of the nation. We are talking about insecurity now. We are talking about galloping inflation. We are talking about joblessness. We are talking about bad federal routes across the country. That if you want to move from Asaba to Benin now, there are spots you get to, you spend as much as 3 hours at a spot. Who shouldn't be? Democracy appears to be the best form of government where people have the say. We are to elect them. But when they get there, are they actually representing our interests? The answer is no, because many of them who are there, let me put it, 85% of them who are there, they are there to serve themselves and not to serve you and I.
Some people still argue that they didn't vote for some of them.
Even when you didn't vote for them, when people were voting, maybe you were in your room saying, whether I vote or not vote, who go win, go win. It shouldn't be. Yeah. When the time for election comes, especially when we are moving towards 2027, which is election year, you and I should arm ourselves with our PVCs, our permanent voters card, to enable us at least exercise our franchise and see whether INEC, being the umpire, the umbrella body that organizes election, whether they will do the right thing, where
Right.
the collective wish of the people will reflect in the ballot boxes.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ejime Udoeme.
It's a pleasure.
Analyzing our headlines with us this morning.
But the time was too short.
Yes. You know, we can even go 3 hours analyzing the happenings in Nigeria. Thank you for your time. And this is where we get to put the plug on today's edition of the Morning Ride. Thank you so much for being a part of it. On behalf of the production crew, it is I, Ugaga Ekama, telling you to have a fruitful and productive day. Compliments of the season.